Hello everyone. Karnataka University Dharwad BSc third semester Computer Science as an optional subject. Dear students, in BSc third semester you have paper data structures using C programming. So let's start chapter 1, Introduction to Data Structures. At the end of the session, you'll understand what is data structures, classification of data structures, and operations on data structures. Before starting this, you are familiar with what is data and data types, right? A computer is an electronic programmable device which manipulates information presented in the form of data. So, to manipulate information, we have to present the details in the form of data. Why? Because data is a collection of numbers, alphabet, symbols to represent information. So, we need to give the details in the form of data. How do you represent the details in the form of data? Say for example, student information. I have represented this student information in the form of data using numbers or characters, where student roll number is number and student name is of a character type. Okay, so this is about data. Then what is data type? Data type is term that refers to the type of data values. C supports 4 standard data types: int, float, char and double. You remember what is variable? Data which changes its value during the execution of the program is called as a variable, and which does not changes its value during the execution of the program is called as a constant, right? How do you declare a variable? Here an example is shown: int a. Int a, right? A is a variable of the type integer. In the same way, B is a variable of the type float, and student name, std name, is a variable of the type character. In the same way, assignment is done. So this is how to declare and assign data types. So next is data structures. Okay. Generally, any problem that has to be solved by the computer involves the use of the data, right? So to solve your problem, you have to use the data. And if a data is arranged in some systematic way, then it gets a structure and becomes meaningful. So this meaningful or processed data is called as information. So when you want to solve your problem, you need data, and when you have data, that has to be structured in a systematic way. That I'll show you with an example. Here I have collected some data, that is registration numbers 19S10, 910, 911, 912 and 13, right? Okay. What are these? These are the registration numbers. And I have represented these details using one structure which you are already familiar with, that is called as an. In which structure I have represented this? What is that? Array. So I have represented the collected registration numbers in a structure called as an array. What is array? Array is a collection of homogeneous data elements which have adjacency relationships. Registration number 1, registration number 2. What are these? 1, 2, 3, 4 are the indexes. In their respective indexes, registration numbers are stored. Okay. You understood what is data? Data, you know, I have represented this data in a structure. Which data? Registration numbers in a structure called as an array. Okay, so this is what data and structure. So what is data? It is a value or set of values of different types called as data types. Example, the registration number. Okay. So next, structure is what? It is a way of organizing data so that data can be easier to use. And why we have to organize in a structure systematically, to use them efficiently. Okay. Data structure is a systematic way of organizing data in a computer so that it can be used efficiently. So data structures are the way of, first you have to collect the data, right? Collecting, organize them, and then storing data in a computer so that we can perform several operations on these data efficient way. If you are not storing them in a structure, you cannot perform the operations. Which operations? Like insertion, deletion, right? These operations cannot be performed efficiently. So data has to be structured in a systematic way. Since you are all students of computers, you have to solve the problem by writing a program. Program involves data, maybe an input. Okay, so you have to, how do you store the data? Using some structures. Why you are storing them? Using structures to use them in a efficient way when you are performing the operations like insertion, deletion, updation, searching, sorting, like this. I hope you understood the definition of data structures. Next, we'll come to the classification of data structures. Data structure is divided into two types. One is primitive data structures, another is non-primitive data structures. See, what are the types in primitive data structures? Int, float, double, and char. You know what are these? These are the data, standard data types of C language, right? Okay, these are the built-in data types, and these operated on machine level instructions with their certain sizes and ranges. Okay, so int, float, double, char are called as primitive data types because which are operated upon machine level instructions. So these are called as primitive data structures or basic data structures. Okay, let us study one by one. You understood what is primitive data structures are. The basic integer real characters. These are called as primitive data structures. These structures directly operated upon machine level instructions. Okay. Example, int, float, double, and then char. Next is non-primitive data structures. Opposite to this, which does not operate upon machine level instructions. Again, non-primitive is divided into two types, linear data structures and then non-linear. In linear, we have two types, static and dynamic. Example for static is array, dynamic is linked list, stack and queue. And whereas non-linear data structures, we have tree types and graph types. So this is the complete classification of data structures. I repeat, data structures, it is divided into two types, primitive which operate upon directly upon machine level instructions. Example is int, float, double and char. We use non-primitive data structure to solve complex structures. These are used to solve the basic structures, whereas non-primitive data structures is used to represent the data when a data is complex. Again, non-primitive is divided into linear data structure, then non-linear. Linear is divided into static and dynamic. Static types are arrays, dynamic types of structures are linked list, stack and queue. Whereas non-linear data structures are trees and graph. Let us study one by one. You understood about primitive. Let's move to the non-primitive data structures. Is the processing of complex numbers. When you represent the data, when the data are complex, we go for non-primitive data structures. As you studied, there are two types of non-primitive, linear data structures and non-linear data structures. Linear means what? It is a simple, or means one dimensional array. You have studied array, right? So simplest data structure or one dimensional array can be called as linear data structures, which shows the adjacency relationship. Okay, list of finite numbers of similar data elements. Okay, examples of linear data structures are what? Array is a static. Okay, array, stack, queue, and a linked list. What are these array, stack? These are the new terms to you, right? Okay, array you have already studied. Okay, then what do you mean by this linked list? Linked list is also linear data structures. Okay, this linked list consists of a node. This is called as a node. Node has two parts. First part is called as a data, which stores the data, and the next part is called as a address part, which stores the address of the next. So this next part, it stores the memory address of the data 4. In the same way, this part shows the address of the data 5. So linked list is also linear data structure. Next is a stack. Stack is also a type of data structure, linear data structures, where this is called as LIFO, last in, first out. Last to enter, first to out. For example, I can use the example for the stack is list of dishes. This is the plates. Okay, list of dishes. Then queue. Queue means first in, first out. Example for this queue is queue waiting for a bus. So this is about linear data structures. What are the linear data structures examples? Array, linked list, stack, and then queue. You are familiar with array, but you are going to study these linked list, stacks, and queue in future classes. Next, we'll go for non-linear data structures. Elements are not arranged sequentially or linearly. They won't arrange in, the elements are not arranged in linear fashion. A list which does not show relationship of adjacency between the elements is known as a non-linear data. There is no elements like a of 1, a of 2. There is no connection between the previous element and the next element. There is no adjacency. These type of data structures are called as non-linear data structures. The example for nonlinear data structures is trees and graph. We use trees to represent hierarchical relationship. Okay. See, I'll give, this is a example for, we represent the information using nonlinear, that is tree like this. Elements are shown, and graph like this. So trees and graph are the examples of our nonlinear data structures. We use tree to represent hierarchical relationship. See here, employee, social security number. Again, name is divided into last, first, and middle. Again, address is divided into street and area. Next, again, area is divided into city, state, and zip, like this. So which shows the hierarchical relationship. We use a tree data structure. And then graph, when you are traveling between two cities, the intermediate cities can be structured using the graph. Okay, you can see the example here. Okay, so these are called as a non-linear data structure. So this is about classification of a data structure. Now let's move to the operations on data structures. These are the different operations we can perform on data structures. Once the data is structured, we can perform in a systematic way, we can perform the operations efficiently. Okay, so which operations? Traverse, insertion, deletion, search, update, and then sorting. So let us study one by one. The first one is traverse. Traversing means what? Displaying or listing all the elements of an array in an is called as a traversing. Just visiting each and every element. Listing or displaying. So you have an array A with the 4 elements, right? A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, and A of 4. You display these elements using for loop. That itself is called as traversing. Understood? So this is the operation, traverse operation. Okay, listing. Next is insertion. Insertion means what? Adds an element into the array at any position given by index. Once one array is ready, you can insert a new element at the beginning of an array or in the middle by specifying the index number or at the end of an array. So insert operation to insert one or more. You need not insert only one or more data elements into an array. Based on the requirement, a new element can be added at the beginning, end or at any given index of an array. Let's see the example. We have an array here, F1, 2, 3, 4, okay, with certain elements 500, 300, 100 and then 200. Now I want to insert an element after A of 2, right? Okay. After 300 I want to insert an element. Okay. So when you insert this, A of 2 will become A of 3. Insert a new element, a new index is created. Okay, a new index is created like this, A of 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, and insert a new element. Which element I am inserting? 400 to this new index, that is A of 2. Okay. So this is a array after insertion. Next, deletion. Deletes an element from the array at any given index. Deletion refers to removing an existing element from array and reorganizing all the elements of an array. Let's see the example. Here I have an array A of 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now I want to delete element 200. Okay. So when you delete, this 200 is deleted. Suppose if you delete the middle element, it rearranges the elements. Here I am deleting the last element. So it displays A of 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Okay. Next is search. When you want to search an element, show in which index value the element exists. Searches an element using the given index or by the value. Search refers to the checking or finding the required element whether it is present in the array or not. If search is successful, it shows the position of searching element. If the searching element is not found, then it should display an appropriate message, searching element not found. Okay. So here there is an array 500, 300, 100 and 200. Now I want to search a element, that is 100. Okay, I am searching here by the element. Then it shows the location, that the element 100 is at which location? A of 3. So the location is given. So this is about search operation. Next, updating the existing element. Okay. Update operation refers to updating an existing element from the array at given index. Update operation replaces an existing element by new element in array at a given index. Let's see an example. Here we have an array. I want to replace this, update. I want to update 300 by 600. Okay. So this is a resultant array after updating the value 300 by 600. One more operation, that is sort. This is an original array before sorting. This is not in order. So after sorting, I am sorting this in ascending order, right? 100, 200, 300. So this is the array after sorting. So these are the different operations you can perform on data structures. Okay. So this is about introduction to data structures.